And
Hello.
welcome. Go.
Go on.
Oh, no, you go. You go. After you. I thought you were going to do a little guest appearance there, sir.
No.
Jack normally does it. Come on,
No.
Jack.
He does. All right. No, well, if he's not going to,
hello.
welcome
Hello.
to another.
Come on,
so many
you.
false starts. What a...
I'm on my
Okay,
phone.
go.
I can't hear anyone now. What's happened?
You're listening to the technical demon-ridden Let's Drone Out. Yeah, we do apologize for starting late. We had some strange commotion in the foyer area there. Microphones laying all over the floor and everything. But welcome to yet another week. This week we're joined by Ed, who we haven't seen this year. So welcome, Ed. How you doing?
G'day. Good. How are you?
Yeah, good. And the usual Tony. Welcome. G'day. Why you feeling jealous there, Jack?
Bloody Aussie. Yeah.
Oh, you're actually. Are you staying on for the show this week, Jack? Or are you having to get other stuff done?
I can do. Yeah.
Oh, good. Well, welcome to Jack. Hello, Jack.
Yeah. Hello.
And
I am talking to you. I just don't know whether you are who you are.
You know what that means. I know what that means, Jack.
Do you know what that means?
So yeah.
Somebody knows sign language.
welcome, Tony. Yeah.
Bonjour.
So this week we've been forecast snow. It's a pretty mad week actually, and I you know, for years I've been trying to get a snow flight in, but it's always a little flurry here, a little flurry there, and I've not done it. I'm reminded of your flying video from a little while back, Tony, where you did that dive at the aqueduct.
Yeah.
Jealous. Are we going to get a snowy flight in this weekend in the UK?
I don't know. I don't know if it's going to actually do it. I mean, it's cold after snow. It's freezing today. It's going to be colder tomorrow because we've got an east wind, but we'll have to see.
Yeah.
But people are saying hello already. Clegger, hi. Mike and Striker, what's up?
Very true. I do need to jump in the chat because we usually have quite a good questions coming up and people sort of making comments on the stuff we talk about, and we often move on without checking and then we come back to it. So I
think Andrew's going to do that for us.
So Ed, it's been a while since you've been on the show then. What have you been up to? Whereabouts have you been? Have you been flying much, or what's been happening?
Yeah, I've been trying to get as much stick time as possible. I suppose it's a good opportunity, Zenny, to say hello down to everyone at Poppen from last weekend. First trip down there. Was made to feel really welcome, and what an amazing place. If you've not flown there yet, go and fly it. It's turn up, pay and play. Course it's all laid out, well looked after. There's even a burger van that does veggie burgers, Joe.
Oh, that's good news.
Yeah. I was well.
What about vegan for Tony though? Vegan. As a vegan,
I just make some sandwiches.
They're just difficult, man. Come on.
Yeah, they've got themselves out. Yeah.
You can eat an onion.
Yeah.
No, I guess it's good that they cater a bit. Yeah.
Yeah, no, Poppen was great. What's the matter if Warren's listening? Thanks for your help, bud, and also Adam Gooch as well. Turned up with a new build and hadn't quite figured out a new VTX, and Warren was on it really quickly. So. Cheers, man. Very helpful dude. But incredibly well organised. Really well organised. Very impressed with how Chris is running things down there. I think there was about 20, maybe 25 people by the time the day had really got going, and we're all in different heats. And there was very few issues. Really nicely done. So hats off to Poppen. Really, well done.
What is it then? Is everyone just like race flight one, and is the race band, and is the track the same every time, so you can get used to it?
The track doesn't change throughout the day. I don't know about a weekly basis. It looked exactly the same as the preview videos I saw on the Facebook group, which is good because, as I said, there's a bit of familiarity going around it. So they put 4 pilots in a heat spread across the race band. They do odds and evens, so 1, 3, 5 and 7, and the other numbers on the other heat. And the more people join, because more people come during the day, they just add another heat in, and they just rotate the heats as the day goes on, and everyone gets a go. I've never been to an event and flown so many rounds before. It was just one after the other. It was non-stop, and everyone was helping out with the organising. So Chris wasn't constantly the one who was organising the races. I think Adam jumped in, and another chap I'd not met before jumped in at some point as well. So yeah, really friendly bunch as well. Everyone I met there was really sound, as is normal with FPV events as well. So yeah, really good. So go fly it. Definitely go and check it out.
Except the Sunday flying
I
group,
noticed.
they're all arseholes.
The what, sorry?
Sorry, Joe.
Maybe not. Maybe you find out. But no, I mean, one thing about Poppen is it's one of those places that seem to have all the events popping up over winter, which a lot of other places, you know, it came up time and time again in the winter, dark winter months, which is always reassuring. And you say even in this weather, you get 20, 25 people turning up and stuff or whatever. That's quite a good turnout.
Yeah, I mean, I really lucked out. I mean, Saturday was a blue sky day, which is an absolute rarity of recent. It wasn't cold enough. It wasn't warm enough, sorry, for t-shirts by any stretch. Everyone's still wrapped up really warm, but yeah, you definitely live outdoors.
But it's an unknown. To still arrange an event with an unknown of what it potentially could be is, you know, that's testament to the people that are actually running the show. So yeah, really, very impressive. So how did you do? How did you turn out then?
Well, you know, I'm no pro, I'm no expert. Crashes were enjoyed, but everyone else was crashing as well. I flew my small 4-inch Mitsuko, which is a little plus size thing. That was pretty easy to get around with. So after a couple of times with that, I thought, well, I'll try the new Revo, which Martin supplied. I've got the 6-inch, and that was God, that was blasphemy of fire. I've not flown anything that quick before, and it was maidened on the track. I'd literally just hover tested it, and I maidened the bloody thing on the track, and it's got really torquey motors, really punchy battery. Yeah, I've never flown a machine like it, and I took off and just zoomed straight into the first gate because it was just way quicker than I was expecting. So lesson learned very quickly. Got the machine back into the tent and just started putting more expo on everything just to calm it all down, and yeah, started getting some laps in after that. But yeah, it's first few rounds all good, but I spent the rest of the day just learning how to tame this mental machine that Martin's given to me. It was crazy.
What board's on it?
It wasn't.
Sorry,
board.
It's actually it was built with a KISS setup, because when I bought all the KISS components, and I don't know, when I got it back, because my Dan built it for me, another fossil chap. I just thought, sod it, I'm going to put a Betaflight on there, because I've been really getting used to Betaflight recently, and I kind of know I've got myself comfortable with it. Yeah, Betaflight on KISS now is completely legit. So anyone who's got a KISS board sat around because they don't want to fly KISS anymore, just get Betaflight on it. It works really well.
Yeah. So
sorry, Joe.
If I cast my mind, you know, it's cool. If I cast my mind back, it was about May 6th, 7th last year or something.
You're gonna quote me on something, are you?
Team Poop. I think we've got 2 members of Team Poop in from the mini air show last year. Actually. Because 3. Who's the 3rd? Oh well, yeah. If Andrew's on the call, he's in the chat. I know, but actually on the call, 3 then. If he's around, we can get Team Poop on the.
So obviously that was yesterday.
Yeah. Well, it was. I'm just saying, it's quite a while ago. So, what have been your steps to now start going to circuits and racing? Then, like, what was your progression from that point of Team Poop, which I think came last, sadly?
I'm going to put this out here now. I'm still shit. There's no space about that. What I am doing is I'm just going to any event that I can. So my promise to myself this year is just to keep going, and it's the only way that I'm going to get better, is to go and fly with people I don't know, go and fly courses that I've not helped set up. Anything to basically unsteady the nerves and just go and practice. And and that's it. And I've been hitting Velocity Drone a lot recently as well, and that's been a huge help. Very impressed with that software. Yeah, it's really good. It's all based around Betaflight and virtual ESCs and virtual motors, and it's the third sim I've tried, and it's the closest to my quads that I've flown yet. So everyone's got their favorite, so this is completely subjective. It's how I feel about it, but it's been really helpful. And that my whole mentality with using Betaflight now is because I've discovered so much about how to set rates and expo just through the sim, and it was quite telling when I started applying the rates that I got comfortable with in Velocity Drone onto my quads, and I started getting more accurate flying with my quads because of what I've done in the sim. So I found that really useful. So getting out my comfort zone and just practicing as much as possible, and I might be able to complete a few laps at the mini air show this year, who knows.
I think what I found of Velocity Drone, because I'm quite a recent user of it, is at least you could get your quad roughly flying what you expect in the real world, real physics, in the simulator, but then tweak your rates and more your rates and how you want it to react around corners and things. And I found that very helpful.
Swear to God, you almost said dick then.
Well, you just did, so hey. Yeah, but no, I hear what you're saying there. But it's good that there's a few other sims out there now as well. I mean,
yeah,
DRL was rubbish for a while. The Freerider Recharged I like.
Yeah, I think there's.
The go-to.
I mean, I think any novice pilot will understand what it is to go through a gate for the first time, and I think any sim will give you that sort of experience, because I mean, it's not as if we're going through the gates for real when we've got goggles on. We're sending a camera through it, so that whole psychology of getting low to the ground and going through something, a simulator really helps with that, regardless of what it is. Adam, if you're listening, pay attention. So yeah, they're all good. They're all good. Everyone's going to have their favourite. I dare say there'll be something in the comments about who likes what. In fact, it'd be interesting to know actually if you've got a favourite sim. Chuck it up in the comments, and be good to see who's flying what actually.
Well, more and more these days actually.
Was that Adam Archangel you were?
Yes, of course.
Sorry, Adam.
Named. I think that's named and shamed now.
He'd throw me under the bus, man.
Well, if you do it first, you can't throw it. Yeah.
So what about you, Joe? After you, Joe.
Sorry, Joe.
No, go on.
I was just going to say, if Joe, have you been out with NJ recently? You managed to get out at all? And I know the weather's been rubbish, and you're Australian, so that counts against you.
Yeah, but I was born in winter, in a dark, cold winter, so I think I'm a little bit impervious to my Celtic skin. Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough.
I'm all right, but most people are too cold to go out. NJ doesn't like flying in the cold, so this is very cold for him. But there's a few of us hardcore ones just going out. But we've been finding some new spots to hopefully fly, and it's quite interesting how we came across one. And how we approach the landowner. So there's a new spot that we're going to try and fly this weekend, but it's an old golf course. It's just basically, the trees are left, so there's a lot of ninja branches, low line branches and things, but there's runs down the trees and fairways, and it's essentially natural gates that we can hopefully set up a few race courses with. So that's promising little venue for the future in our local area. But it was quite a standoffish approach, and if as flyers we always like to fly new spots because we bore of the same spots, I think. So it's one of those things of how do people go out and approach other places to hopefully fly, because once you have the landowner's permission, you're pretty much 9/10 of where you've been completely legal to fly. So that's key. We were met when we were walking on this golf course with quite an abrupt person saying, what you're doing, why did you not see the no trespassing signs and get off my land sort of attitude. But after a little bit of talking and that, I cheekily said, can we have a flight today? And he said, yeah. And setting out for obviously, because they don't know what to do with the land, but setting it up for hopefully some smaller events where it's just pay for that day per person to fly. So it's quite promising. But one other, I mean, my boss does shooting for pigeons and things, and one thing that they do is they go around to farms and take a bottle of wines, a case of wine, and offer wine and say, "Do you have a problem? Do you mind if we shoot?" And I don't think it's the same mentality where you'd hope to shoot guns, but a similar approach could happen. And I think a lot of people might actually find places to fly legally if they just did that approach. So
can I just rewind that for a second? You're telling us that it's easier to turn up with some shotguns and a wine and get permission to use the land than it is with a model aircraft?
Yes, because pigeons. There's one reason.
How the conversation goes down.
Pigeons eat seeds, don't they, and shoots. So farmers don't like pigeons flying onto the land. They're quite happily out if they're shot on there.
La 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 la.
They're made of clay, Tony. They're made of clay.
The truth be known,
either this wine gets spilled or your blood. Let's fire some guns. That's what happens. That's why I say yes.
Is this your top tip for the day? This is your top tip for the day, Jay. Turn up with a 12-bore shotgun.
And then fire your drone, yeah? Make sure someone in your club or your local area has a shotgun license, then you're made.
Fantastic.
No, but it was quite interesting how other interests just look for land to use for whatever reason. So
does anyone want to read out any of the chat on the right? Jack?
Not just yet. I wanted to ask. I was having a chat with Tony earlier on, and he was saying about how he's sick and tired of carrying around his diversity ground station and stuff like that, and he's always forgetting cables.
Yes,
I wondered if any of you guys have tried out or have been thinking about the goggles diversity module set things, because I've seen Joshua Bardwell review a load, and Hobby King's just come out with a set now.
I think Ed's just bought some.
What is that? Is that the true? You can't hear me. Is that the True D set?
Yeah, the version 3. Got it yesterday. Not even switched on yet. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
not even switched. Do it live. Come on, get a battery in, turned on live on the Let's Join Out.
Turn it on live.
Yeah, because if it blows up, then we've at least got something we can go back to.
We've got evidence.
It won't blow up, obviously.
It's not.
I've been happy with my version 1, and I have been tempted by the version 3 because I think there's a hardware change. You can actually update version 2 to version 3 firmware. You can't do version 1 to version 3.
Okay.
But yeah, I've been tempted by the version 3 because I've liked my version 1.
Well,
ground station, it's a problem, isn't it?
I was very nearly tempted by the Banggood 35 quid one. Warren was singing its praises over the weekend, but it requires a firmware upgrade. And anyone that knows me, I hate building drones and I hate fiddling with stuff. I'm a bit of a Luddite, so I don't know. I just got the fear, which is stupid because anyone who's technically minded would go, "You just need a cable and something else, and then it just no. I just want to plug and play, so I went for the True D V3 instead.
There's none left in the UK, is there? I think you probably got the last one.
I'm
waiting for Phil Make It Build It is hopefully getting my one. I think it's coming in the next few weeks.
Where did I get mine from?
Because I keep travelling around with my ground station, but like today I wanted to go out and test.
Quadcopters.co.uk. That's where I got mine from.
Yeah, I think
it's nice for the portability, but at least to have a patch and another antenna for, peace of mind. It does seem to help.
Flying on your own or going out to test, so you don't have to take everything. That's what annoyed me today. I went out for a test and had to take all my ground station and everything, where I could have just...
Yeah, but a test or a fly is one and the same, isn't it?
Yeah, I know, but 25 milliwatt
with
one of them is not... It doesn't get very far.
So you're testing range and stuff then. I suppose if you were just testing a little bit, you could probably get away with it. But
you can, but it's not great.
What goggles have you got?
V2.
Okay.
But just with the polarized antenna on 25 milliwatt, as soon as you go
There
out.
are a lot of people selling the version 1 because the version 3's out, so you might get a pair of V1s.
I'll just wait for Phil to get the V3s.
Yeah, I'll testify to Tony's frustration in the field. Whenever we turn up, he looks like he's carrying the entire world. And then when he sits down, all sorts of new swear words I've never heard of before, because he can't tune into his quad. And everyone's running around trying to help him, but nothing bloody works. I've never seen the like of it. It's just I've never seen
things that it breaks. You know, the people who touch things and they turn to gold.
It's your bad vibes, Tony. Bad vibes.
I'll tell you, I washed my car in it in rain.
Yeah,
I could take my car to Africa into the desert, and I could make it rain just by washing it.
Could you be the answer?
You like unlucky, don't you, Tony? You want to be the victim.
I hate it.
I've never seen anything like it before. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's crazy.
The thing I hate is when
is it?
Well, the thing I hate is when something I use doesn't work, and I hand it to someone like Dan Upton, and then it just starts working. And then my only assumption is maybe it just likes it when you touch it. That's the only...
Dan is he's like a Jedi with electronics, though, isn't he? He just has to breathe over something, and it starts working. It's crazy.
Or it's like the fear of his screwdriver being stuck in it or something. Some weird subconscious thing with inside electronics. But yeah, I don't know. I kind of got excited about the Forge system, but everyone seems to be banging on about the True D.
I didn't like the Forge logo. That's my and somebody actually had the True Ds. I don't know, but somebody had the True Ds, and that's what was available. So I think they were pretty much similar, bar a few points. But
has anyone tried the Fat Shark sort of non-true diversity? You know, the one that uses one receiver and just switches between the two aerials. The V2.
The next wave.
Yeah, the V2's just come out, hasn't it? It was only like 30 quid or something, and I don't know. I was tempted for that, but I don't know. Anyone tried it?
No, I haven't. I know that they released a V1 and then they had to release a V2.
Yeah.
And then they were having problems with people selling the V1 with a photo of the V2 and stuff like that, and all different kinds of hoo-ha. So I don't know. Like I just wondered because, like, you know, it seems like a lot of people are moving away from ground stations now, and you know, like I was curious. Like, I mean, obviously, it's much easier bringing just your goggles and that, and I do miss the good old days of that. But you know, like these diversity modules seems to be very complicated now, and it's not something really I've looked into.
If I was going for a full day racing with my mates at Hidden Valley, I would still take my ground stations over the goggles. I just want the simplicity of being able to grab my goggles if I want to just chuck my quad in the car when I'm going to work and then stop and fly in a field or whatever. That's what I want it for.
Yeah, it packs down to back then, doesn't it?
Yeah, just stick it in the bag and go rather than having to have a tripod and wires and things like that. But like I say, if I was still doing a full day's racing or mucking about with my planes and stuff, I'd still take the ground station. So you'd still be hearing me swear a lot.
I'll always remember like flying along. Jay, you were there, and
I think I know
like,
the time.
Right, I'm going to trying to get around the track 3 times. He done it twice, and then all you heard was this just barrage.
It was about 3 minutes of constant swearing with no pause for air. I don't know how you could actually. Yeah, it was amazing.
And I remember trying to.
I think you let so much out that day, didn't you? You had a good release that day, Tony.
It was fun.
Maybe we need to take it down again
on the way home. You should all try it.
That was a fun day. That.
The only thing I could describe it was like office day, like no office space, when they finally get their hands on that printer. That's what it sounded like. But he weren't hitting a printer, he was just swearing. But I remember trying to fly FPV whilst laughing and leaning on Dan because I couldn't stand up right. That's all I remember. That was so funny. That was so good. Oh, man. Right, so what have we got here on the side of the chat?
We've got volunteer stuff.
Yeah, in other words, in other news, for you guys, the BFPVRA are looking for someone to volunteer to look after the pool of equipment between events. The iLaps, the ruggedized laptops, Genie tents, scaffolding, track cones, etc. that were used at the Thunder Drone, Queen's Cup, Formula FPV, British Champions and Scottish Nationals and more last year. So if anyone does want to volunteer to be a big storage unit, then let us know. So
how big a storage unit?
I don't know. Like what else has been going on? Striker has been trying to fly with more up to tilt by using hot props, but it's too heavy for his laptop. And Zero FPV says Velcro drone is the best, and I've tried lift off and hot props, free rider, and the DLR sim. Jim FPV is a complete convert from FPV rider to Velocidrone. So, and apparently our Swishy recommends the LaForge diversity module. But yeah, I noticed Joshua Bardwell said that the LaForge wasn't as good as the True D apparently. So
version 3 maybe, but I like the killer was the setting your frequency to the right down to the 1 megahertz resolution. That's a big bonus. But
yeah.
How often are you going to use it? I don't know. So yes, Tony, go out and buy some.
I mean, like Hobby Kings released the quantum module as well. Like, so I don't know. I'm still interested in trying to, get my hands on something for the long range, like, because like I'm slowly trying to build up and have a wing again. Tony, how's your wing doing?
I've noticed I've got a split in it, but Bradders has gave me some CA glue, so I can probably glue it back together. But I'm wanting to do long range with that this year, so I'm looking for.
Okay. Jack, I should have a wing in the next month, hopefully. So next time I'm down that sort of way, we'll do formation, Tony, me, and you, and we'll fly along. Oh yeah.
It's such great
fun. Crash and burn, but yeah, we should do some formation.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Non-stop flying is great.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Okay, well, I mean, I'm swapping a wing for 4 little BSCs. I thought that was a fair swap, considering I haven't used them in months.
That is a fair swap. One thing I would say, Ed, is get a spare battery for your Fat Shark, or a bigger battery where you can, a cable that you can plug in and stick in your pocket, because apparently it eats batteries.
I've got the XT60 lead all ready to go. So yeah, the recycling the old 3S batteries that don't get used anymore.
Good.
Holy hell! You still got those?
Yeah, my wing takes them for a casual fly if I'm feeling lazy, and now my goggles are going to take them, so they've come in useful again.
Apparently, the guys in talks with the Wing Racing League people about the possibility of a wing race at the Mini Air Show 3, by the way.
That would be good.
Sounds good.
With what sort of gates, though? Bigger gates or same style gates? Because
pylons.
I think it's
pylons would be much better, or flags.
A Red Bull Air Race style.
Yeah,
that'd be good. Just mimic the Red Bull Air Race.
Pylons that cut. You need to cut the pylons to move.
Get those blow up wiggly men that sit on the end of a fan and just wobble around all over the place.
Right, we need 3 of those at least. Anyone that knows how to get one of those, we might rip it up. In fact, that has to be a suggestion for Mini Air Show.
Yeah.
Somebody donates one, and you've got to slice off bit by bit of the arm, as you go through the day. I don't know, something. Yeah. Still, there's many hazards. There's a problem if you attach streamers to wings and try and cut them off with a quad, isn't there? I think, Jack, you found out the hard way.
It
What happens
depends.
to your motors?
High quality streamers that Daniel Upton buys, but the classist, like
made from silk and natural fibers,
binding
up and wrecking.
Frank is suggesting that we give a shout out to the poll for the Mini Air Show, which has got a space for suggestions. Can we put a link in the chat?
Is that on the main? We should be able to.
I thought he would have done it.
Has he done it? Has he?
Yeah, he might have done it. Has he got it?
Do you know what's really annoyed me as well? Has anyone been dumb enough to pre-order the Horus gimbals?
I've got them.
On Horus.
Yes, I've got them on pre-order. I am that stupid.
Did you know? Did you notice that they were like in where you need to buy this other set to get hold of them with the sets?
I missed half of what you just said, Jack. Sorry.
I think you said you've got to get something else to bond with it before you can use the set.
I thought they would drop in, weren't they? The HAL gimbals.
No. They're selling kit sets.
Is it?
So you've got just the gimbals on their own haven't showed up. You've got to buy the set. So you order a set of gimbals with a VTX or a set of the new gimbals with something else.
I know. I've paid for 2 gimbals from what's the place that imports the Tyrannus stuff? The main
T9.
Yeah.
I ordered it with Horus.
Ooh.
Yeah, because they're trying to get you to buy like other unnecessary stuff, and rather than just like sell you just the gimbals.
I'll get on to them about that.
That'll just be another thing they're trying to get used to. Just leave it as it is till they snap.
Okay, Frank's saying he can't post the link in the chat, so he's put it on the Facebook page. So if everyone wants to go to the Facebook page and click the link for the survey and put their ideas down for the Mini Air Show, there's a form waiting for you.
I want it to be like Flight Fest.
Page.
You want to do the next Flight Fest?
No, I want it to be like Flight Fest.
Poppen would be an amazing venue for that. They've got a dedicated fixed wing airstrip behind the drone field, and it's all of us who are there just took one look at it and had exactly the same thought. This would make Flight Fest location. It'd be absolutely ideal for it.
It would.
Yeah, well, I think there's a few exciting shows coming up, and that could be another one for the year. Are you going to plan it then, Ed? I think we need you to... You've been down there?
There's a bloody good reason why I'm not volunteering for much at the moment. It's just time is not on my side. So that's, I'll let somebody else do that. Sorry, not this year.
We got LDO games to do at some point in the spring or summer. When do we know when we're going to do that?
I do believe, the first Mini Air Show was coming up 7th of May, is it? Something like that. It's the weekend around that first weekend of May, 7th and 8th. So it's going to fit in probably the month or so after that, hopefully.
Yeah.
Cool. You see, the season's starting soon, though. As soon as the clocks change and we get more daylight hours, so many events are going to start popping up. Exciting time.
Well, I mean, it did feel like spring, and then all of a sudden it went really cold. I blame Tony, of course.
We all do.
That's because I put my t-shirt on. Oh, right. You think it's warm, do you? Right.
What does your t-shirt say today, Tony?
What does it always say?
There you
go. Simon Bradley has apparently one of his little ones ran into a wall really hard.
Oh, Brad.
Huge lump on the back of the head.
Kids are designed to scare the crap out of their parents. That's what they do, I think.
Yeah. Can't you let me hit you instead? That's what Simon Bradley's like. That's what normal kids do. You know.
So, some news of the week then. I mean, I think there's the Inspire 2. It's a shame Adam hasn't been around this week because he might have known a bit more about this. But the Inspire 2.
Looking forward to ribbing him about
that. Should we wait? Should we just give it another week and like wait till he's back?
No.
Let's
do it.
Okay. Well, the news story is that the very expensive quadcopters known as Inspire 2 by DJI have actually been starting to drop out of the skies.
Ooh.
Much like Karma.
A bit like Tony.
Maybe this is some bit like Woodcopter, but
GoPro.
So somebody posted on their official forum that whilst they were flying a job, their Inspire 2 performed an unauthorized mid-flight software update and reboot that has resulted in a loss of propulsion at approximately 60 feet.
That's like $6,000 in the air. I would be pooping my pants.
Yeah,
I'd love
other people have said it's
know
not the
what
first.
the back box would have said.
But DJI, they do the code, so you can tell, you can send them you can send them what happened, and they can see that it wasn't your pilot error. So I think they refund you or send you out a new one or fix it.
Will they refund the parents of the child that the drone killed?
Dun, dun, dun.
Someone died then.
I think isn't that about what it came up in conversation. The cost of a person is a couple of million, 1 million. Usually that covers someone's life. Yeah. So maybe I think the profits would hardly be scratched by a figure such as that.
Yeah.
No, it's a bit worrying, but hey, well, I think it's early days. We'll see if Adam wants to fly his. And
did you read the advice on how to for Inspire owners as to how to get over that?
Well, have to have them falling out of the sky.
Yeah, so the recommendation is to, if it's done a software update, is to leave the battery in, let it do its software update, and then just leave it on the ground with the battery until it restarts. That was DJI's advice.
Wow.
But, yeah.
That's really good. Thanks.
Please leave it alone for about an hour. Yeah.
Yeah.
It needs to find out where it is and work its way out of this world.
I hope I haven't got that wrong. There's every chance of it, but that was kind of the gist after reading the.
But if it is true that something you receive a software update and reboot in Sky, then that's a bit worrying that that's not actually protected against.
Yeah.
Possibly. I mean, have you ever been involved in coding and going through versions and just software releases, it's ridiculously easy to miss something, and that's a procedural.
Maybe DJI need bug finders in their software. Then maybe they need to have.
They will do. They're producing.
The point is, right? All the technologies in the world are subject to this, from car manufacturers and people like trying to hack into cars. Everything is now susceptible, and if you're in a populated area, it's more likely that you're going to have threats, or even just strange radio waves that could, whatever. But it's something that they need to be mindful of, considering the sales that are going up, where these are being used in professional scenarios often. The Inspire are used by police and all sorts because of the capabilities, and I think that needs to be paramount now because they're becoming so prolific.
I can imagine there's a couple of developers in DJI who got dragged into offices and got a royal dressing down. I doubt if they'll let that mistake happen again, to be honest.
I tell you what, that would be a monumental event, though. Can you imagine the drugs bust getting stopped by an Inspire falling?
1 in 50 employees of a company is more likely to sell secrets of that company. Right? How many people do you think DJI employ? These the recent figures are 50 to just sell secrets and details. So maybe a 2 in the headquarters of potentials. Maybe they were paid out by GoPro. Just cause a couple to fall like our karma.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Frank's making a good point on the chat there. So Frank's questioning whether they had to push out a patch in a hurry because there was an even bigger bug to worry about.
Exactly.
Very good point, Frank.
Well, for the several £1,000s I haven't spent, I'm a bit relieved, but I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that haven't.
I just can't.
Adam, where are you? Come on.
Yeah,
let's fly it constantly to the job.
I just cannot fathom spending.
But it is largely unfounded. We're not. I think we need to give a warning that we are, check our facts as much as we can. We try not to provide fake news. We don't know. We're going on hearsay, but watch this space. There may be more developments.
I thought the fun was in fake news. Was that not what's happening?
No. Well, we can turn the river mill.
Yeah.
Turn, river mill, turn. Yeah. I'm waiting to. Well, it's interesting to see. I don't know if you've been following the Freedom class racing drones, the 30-kilogram plus.
I love the look of this.
Beasts.
I think Tony
and they sound amazing.
Yeah, I like the idea of a large
aircraft. If you haven't seen it, the whole premise was that we're making these to be more of a spectator sport, because if you can see or hear these things racing around, then great. But I think in the development of their flight controller and systems on these things, they don't look very impressive just yet. They're not flipping, they're not doing anything, and it looks quite just over in Australia. But to see a company having to go through all those steps to develop, stabilization systems, just to be able to sell these as a complete product. But it's very interesting what they're going to be doing.
Jay, just very quickly, I think there's some chat about old raves at Poppen Airfield, because Poppen came up as a topic. Maybe at the mini air show we should get people like DJ Pigbag or some really old school hardcore rave DJs to play.
I'll be
just to bring the memories back. Let's get Billy Bunter and UFO and people like that.
If you haven't actually been to this, it turns into a little mini rave at the end of it anyway. So this year it's going to be 3 times bigger. Did they promise? No.
The rumor is that there will be music. Yeah, that's the rumor. I've heard. Last year,
if you're lucky enough to be there last year, it was such a fantastic vibe that happened that evening, setting up, and it's all going to be based down there. It should be even better.
Yeah, we had
sitting around the campfire.
Does anyone know when the tickets are going on sale? Because obviously it'll be coming up soon. Keep an eye out on
very soon, apparently.
.com. And the best on this, and we'll let you know when tickets are coming out. Yeah. For the camping down Hidden Valley and camping and flying, and I'm actually planning an FPV road trip this year. Well, not just me, a few of us, because that's the point. You need a backpack with diversity or something in your goggles just to go.
Oh, yeah,
can I sign up for that, please?
Yeah, we might have to have several. There's a convoy of buses going around the country causing nuisance.
Well, why not?
Let's do it.
Yeah, well, let's do it the way we used to do it when we used to set up raids. You just all go to one pub and then wait for someone to hand a flyer out with their mobile on it, and phone the mobile, get an answer phone message, and it tells you where the next location is going to be. We could do some sort of guerrilla race meet just everywhere.
Here's the idea, and I wait to see who registers it. Do it sky surfing. No, Tony. It's sky surfing. So think couch surfing. You can go down someone's house, charge your batteries, and go FPV flying. The country, simply like-minded people. Forget couch surfing.
I'd love it.
See who's going to register that one, because I don't have time.
Imagine a load of FPVers in their cars and stuff going down.
Went all quiet and.
Yeah, I seem to be having a bit of a crappy internet tonight.
Yeah.
Was that your side? Well, I only heard something about driving around FPVs.
I just imagine a load of cars going down the road with all FPV hooligans in, going somewhere.
This is exactly how we used to do it.
More of a community centre now, I think. So.
We used to go to. What we knew about a free party was we'd have to go to a certain pub. And then at the pub, we'd wait for someone to run around with flyers, and somebody had bought a cheap mobile phone, disposable style, and just put the answer phone message. And the idea was that the answer phone message obviously reveal where and what time to turn up, and you all have to turn up en masse at once. And the idea was that there were so many people turning up at once that there wouldn't be enough manpower in the local police force to move you on. So you could then set up and have a party. But I went to a few of these, and I remember the groups being pretty responsible as well. There always seemed to be a volunteer cleanup team as well. So if anyone does want to take on some guerrilla FPV session where it's just 100 people turn up to a...
yourself, Ed. You're the leader.
But 100 people turning up and powering on at the same time you've just taken off is not a good idea.
We'll need someone on site managing frequencies.
You've only got 8 race band channels. I'm sure there's enough police power for that.
I think what you need to do is handcuff people's hands behind their backs until they're ready to fly. That's the only way of governing that.
Maybe that's how we could introduce a sort of a yardstick system into FPV racing. Are you good? Yes, right. You've got both hands tied behind your back. Are you reasonable? Yes, just one hand. Are you new? Right, you can use both hands.
Your teeth. I think it's about, there's someone, I don't know his name, the one-handed freestyle.
There's 2 guys now, yeah. There's two videos I saw. Chad Novak posted another video of a chap he met recently. Absolutely incredible. We're really bowled over by that stuff. Yeah. It's just good to show that injury just doesn't get in the way. It's nice.
Yeah. So what's happened with them? If they're any good, do they... Yeah. Hey?
With one hand.
I've got to get into the chat. Frank's saying the chat is mad about this idea.
Someone says hi from down under. I can't pronounce that. What does that say? GWL. Wow.
Give us a rundown, Tony.
The chat's there, Ed.
Webber?
I don't ever look at the chat.
You know, like what they do with gliders. They have like spots that they land and fly. What you could do is you could make it where you've got to get to a spot and fly and get a certain shot before you move on to the next spot, as the challenge to get around the country and do all the stuff. So you drive into certain spots, whatever it's an area or wherever, and you maybe dive through some trees at a certain spot or something, and that's your confirmation you've passed that challenge.
And then,
if there's 100 people, you can't have 100 people flying at once. They've got to turn up as they go on like a car rally. You go through a checkpoint, don't you? But rather than getting checked, you have to fly it. And if you're at the end of it, you find all these quad bits for free that you just pick it up and put into a bag.
You have to build a quad for Tony and Ed. They can't be asked.
Just sell them on eBay, found bits.
G-Wilo. Apparently, that's how you pronounce his name.
Okay, G-Wilo. What's up?
Can you please explain what's going on with your quad situation? Because you're not a happy bunny.
No, Brad has built me a beautiful quad, and it didn't fly.
It flew, but it didn't fly properly.
It was just sitting there rattling around on the floor. It was horrible.
So it showed signs of life. Yeah.
So I soft mounted it last night and took it out this morning, and it's still done the same. It's on race flight. It's on a Revo F4 board. My other one flies fine, so I don't know what this is. So I'm thinking it might be the board. So I bought a Schizo Revolt board and going to put that on probably tomorrow and just put a race flight 1 on. It comes with its own soft mounts built into the FC. So I won't have to do any of that. So like we were talking about last week, soft mount. You have to soft mount every F4 board now. Gone are the days where you can just stick a F3 board in and hard mount it and just fly and it works. These gyros are so bloody sensitive.
It's called Beta Flight, mate.
Yeah, no.
And Kiss.
Beta Flight, yeah.
Well, we are...
No. Actually, I'll tell you one thing. Kiss, I've had more problems if I didn't, when my soft mounting hasn't been right. I've had weird, jittery, it wants to just jump off the ground once I arm it and stuff. So Kiss, I found, was affected by it.
I think we need to refer back to what NJ was saying. Was it last week or week before last about...
The resonance.
Yeah, the resonance of just one particular setup. even down to even the same frame can produce different results. So,
as a general rule of thumb, I always try and soft mount the flight controller, because I've had it over the many years. Some have been more susceptible than others, and it's always just a general, as a general rule, soft mount the flight controller.
Well, next week we are hopefully going to be talking to Preston from Race Flight, so he's going to be our guest next week. Fingers crossed, so we can ask him.
I don't know whether I can attend. I don't know whether I can attend that, because it's just like making it close, or he's like rewritten it, and then like you've had nothing but problems. I look at.
No, I've only had problems on this latest build. My last build, or my last Revo, flew lovely on Race Flight. This one doesn't. Like Jay and Ed just said, it could be the difference that I've put different ESCs, different motors. It could be my flight controller actually not working right or something on there. So this is my last thing to do.
It could even be just a
board on
process of manufacture.
Yeah, I'm putting this new board on. If it doesn't fly, then I am going to go back to beta flight, and we can all cuss Race Flight 1 if you want.
Well, if you try it before next week, you can then tell Preston what you think.
Striker says, Tone, have you tried soft mounting your ESC?
I've soft mounted my
that's
chair.
The question of the week.
And it doesn't work.
Just have you soft mounted your head, Tony?
That's one thing I haven't done.
I just can't get past the word soft mounted though. It just brings up all sorts of wrong images of being too drunk.
That says a lot about you, then, Ed. Well, no, I mean, try your flight control, and it'd be interesting if you could try schizo flight control anyway, and tell us what you feel next week.
I will be flying it this Sunday, if weather permitting, if it's not too cold.
I think this weekend is cold for the weather forecast.
Wow.
No, the worst thing for me is that I work outside all week, and then I go out again and sit in the middle of a field cold again. So it's
well, in this cold weather, one thing that I've been doing is filling my hot water bottle, but not for me, for my batteries, and it seems to be working a treat, because they never heat up enough in the car heaters, and I don't stay in my car. But a little hot water bottle with your batteries stays out and warm for hours.
Yes, that is a good idea.
Interestingly, my dodgy drone labs that puff up slightly anyway, puff up when they get warm, not through, because it's the expansion of the gas. So, but they still flew fine. But it did help on the better batteries.
If you want to stay out of the cold, I can thoroughly recommend a trip down to Kent Quadcopter Club, and they're using the indoor tennis court. That was also another good place I went to recently.
Yeah, I do want to go there one day, but
absolutely no interference from any metal structure. And John, the chap who runs it, he's an enthusiast. I think he gets a kick out of just making sure that everyone is up in the air and flying. He goes to a lot of trouble each week, and his mate Dave. The pair of them go to a lot of trouble to make sure that thing's running each week. It's very well done. Again, it's definitely worth a visit.
Circuit, well, isn't it? Circuit they erect in there? Is it an actual race circuit they erect in there?
So they've got a pretty sweet deal. They hire the tennis court for 4 hours, and there is storage down the side of the tennis court. So football clubs have got goalposts there, tennis clubs have got the nets there, and all the rest of it. And they've got all the dates and flags and everything just stored down the side. So like the first 2 or 3 people that turn up, they just bundle down the sides, drop the stuff onto the track. Someone each week volunteers to do a quick track design. It's put up in a very little amount of time, and everyone pitches in, and then the racing starts. And John's really good with assigning channels, and he won't let anyone fly until channels have been assigned, and everyone's pretty good at not switching on and all the rest of it. So again, another good shout for another well-run, friendly club.
Well, if it's snow, I'm going there.
Do they have a limit on what size they fly in there?
When I went down there was a guy with a 6-inch quad. it was flying, quite gingerly around the course, and there were guys with tiny whoops flying around. All are welcome. So it's super friendly, really, really, really friendly. That's definitely worth a visit.
God, man.
Bo's asking whether I
6-inch
mount or foam or rubber mount. I cut silicon wire off a battery to mount my flight controller yesterday, and that didn't work. I'm pretty sure it's my flight controller, to be honest.
It could be. It could be. Have you just?
Well, be.
Could be. It could be any part of it though.
It could be. I know. I'm just hoping that this Race Flight 1 sorts it all out, and the rubber mounts all built into this FC.
Don't get frustrated if it's not a magic wand. You might need to be looking at soft mounting your motors, soft mounting your flight controller, doing the whole lot.
I'll just scrap it and go back to Betaflight if that's the case, because I can't be bothered. I just want to fly. I don't
just attach everything.
About.
Big rubbery dildo. Just attach everything that's on your quad to that dildo. And then it don't matter if it vibrates, because that's what it's supposed to
do. Jack returns from another week in the gutter to present on.
That was funny, though.
It was.
I mean, Tone, you're going to be flying a quad here, not running an Ann Summers party.
Shut up, you idiot. You're the only one with dildos laying on the floor.
Wow, okay, come on, let's go back to this. So
Ray doesn't like it when we argue.
No, I don't.
Mommy and Daddy, I don't like it when you argue.
Mommy.
I certainly hope I'm not your child.
Hideous love child.
On
all right,
note.
hippie love child.
Yeah, that's
look, update about the podcast. If you're listening, we are so grateful that you are back in charge. The good news, he's edited an episode. The bad news is it's the wrong one. Yeah, it Menace RC. So he's got another 2 to do, and then 3 can come out all at once,
which would be great.
Because we're about podcast.
Yeah, don't worry. It's all good. We're on it. So, yeah. Any last words, people?
I hate all of you. And I hate soft mounting anything. Apart from
there is
ladies. And even that, soft mounting a lady is not good.
Well, I've got an event coming up.
Is there a website for anything to find out about the Kent Guys Facebook group?
There's a Facebook group, I think.
Yes, it's literally called Kent Quadcopter. Yeah, let me just double check that. Kent Quadcopter Racing Club. Just search for that in Google.
And their venue's Gravesend, isn't it?
It's no, 1 second, hang on.
Quicker.
You're out of time. Sorry.
All the details are on the Facebook page.
Truth, mate. Awesome. Kent Quadcopter Racing. Yeah, racing.
Why am I permanently on the video feed? Nobody else's video is on the video feed.
That's because we put our guests up on there constantly, just so people in my face. But I'll tell you one thing. For some reason, Jack has been editing. You've noticed on Let's Try Now. I think he's got something for Adam. Have you missed him this week, Jack? Yeah. So this week, it happens to do that, I know. But this week, hopefully, we're going to have Ed. So that's why we put you constantly up there. Say hello to everyone, Ed.
Hello, everyone.
Let's see if it's Ed or not.
Dun dun dun.
I don't know. I might. Jay, do a funny little face, and then I'll screen grab that, and you can be.
Sorry, no, I don't know how to do any funny faces that you.
Oh, you're doing one all the time.
Is it? Yeah. No. Anyway, I think it's about time we round this up for yet another week.
Can we answer one question?
Thank you.
Of course, yeah. If you've got questions.
No. It's just Striker FPV is asking if anyone's using linear antennas. I'm kind of curious to know about that myself.
I know people that have, but no, I'm not at the moment. Because then you can also sometimes mount them inside the frame so they don't break. But no, I haven't.
Okay, hope that helps, Striker.
It seems like it was a full circle, wasn't it? Because every time you buy or used to buy an Emergent RC VTX, you'd get a rubber ducky with it, and you'd throw it in a box because they don't really use much. I don't know, the linear, if that's what you're talking about. I don't know.
The straight line one.
Yeah. Rubber duck style.
I think they're
Rubber
right
ducky, dive hole.
Yeah, for making your quad lighter and racing around a track, but I don't think you can probably go too far on them. Well, I think you can, but you just got to keep your orientation of your ground station right or whatever.
Yeah, rejection patterns, I don't know, like weird. All right, guys, thank you for tuning in to another episode of Let's Drone Out. You've been joined somewhat by Frank, and then mainly you've been staring at Ed.
Yes.
You poor buggers.
Tonight, you've been wishing a good day, good night.
I take it that's from me. Good night, people.
Mate.
Yep.
Straight.
And your dodgy vegan burger from Poppen Airfield Burger Van, which just consists of some grass in between 2 slices of onion, Tony.
No, and a tomato.
I find that quite nice.
And then me.
Yeah.
Bye.
And then there's Jack.
Right. Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone.